I am Marcus James Dixon with Gold Derby, and we would like to welcome Tom Campbell to our TV reality panel, the executive producer of RuPaul's Drag Race on MTV. So, Tom, today you've won 6 Emmy Awards for this show and for Untucked. So, what is the big Drag Race secret? What makes it such a unique success?
I have to always give it up to the queens, the drag queens, starting with RuPaul, who has sort of this unprecedented career and was able to sort of take the art of drag, which samples all of pop culture, and weave in the stories of being an outsider, but also being a performer. It's not just sort of sad stories of people who are underdogs, but people. It takes a very particular person to say, "I'm going to be a drag queen." I know I'm not. And not just for a night, which is always fun to do, but to like say that I'm going to leave the house. RuPaul says anyone who leaves the house in a pussycat wig and some Cha-Cha heels is my hero. And the show has, we try to make it not political, but again, another RuPaul quote which we follow closely is, every time I bat my false eyelashes, RuPaul says, I'm making a political statement. So just by having a platform, of being in and so wonderfully supported by Paramount and MTV and all of that, it's a concoction of lots of things. It's also like the Carol Burnett show meets American Idol meets a Top Model and all these other things. We call our drag queens the Marines of reality television. They have to do everything.
And season 16 was yet another epic installment with my personal favorite. She won, so I was super happy. Nymphia win. And what do you think it was about Nymphia that made her RuPaul's crowning victor at the end?
There were so many good queens. If you think about it, we had this instead of having a traditional reunion where people bitch each other out, we thought like that happens online. That's past tense. That's not good juju. So we brought them back for that lip sync off. So all the eliminated queens got to come back and lip sync off in a lip sync, a sudden death kind of battle. And in that moment, even I watching it again, it's like there were superstars who were eliminated episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I would have to say that going into the grand finale, Sapphira was destined to win, but it was Nymphia who, and I think the queens brought this, a little bit of the producers brought this, but we kept the competition to the very, very end. And I think it was decided ultimately in the final lip sync for the crown. So that's, I think, what blows people's mind. I think, a lot of and we say in Drag Race too, that like losing is the new winning. So no one leaves a loser. These queens all leave and they have incredible international careers based on what they shared with the world on this. And season 16 is no exception.
And that's the perfect segue to my next question about, Nymphia, born in Taiwan before moving to the US. Do you think that her victory will open up the door to other queens from around the world to compete on future seasons?
Well, there's a thing about visas and things, and we do have, I believe, right now we have 16 international franchises. World of Wonder does, and we're in the Philippines, but we're always about opening new territories. About the show is about drag, and it's very central, but it also wherever we do it, you get different expressions of what queer life and queer art is like in whatever region. So yeah, I think Nymphia definitely opens people's eyes and hearts to the franchise in a new way, which is incredible.
And you mentioned Sapphira, she was second place, and Plain Jane was third. I really think that this was the strongest final 3 in many, many years. They all had their fair share of fans. Some were very angry that their favorite didn't win, but I mean, that's just part of the game. Do you think this was one of the strongest, finals in history?
Absolutely. And if you don't think those same fights happen within the producing staff of RuPaul's Drag Race, you're wrong. And I realize that if there isn't a huge argument backstage, about who, RuPaul makes the final decision, but if there isn't huge conflict within our ranks, then we're doing something wrong because we kind of represent the audience. And if somebody is not left unhappy, then we don't have a good cast. And there was, mixed emotions. Although I must say, once RuPaul calls the name, once the victory happens, it all makes sense. I feel like RuPaul has never made a mistake, and he always picks kind of the queen of the moment, whatever that means. It just sort of captures the zeitgeist, and the right queen is chosen.
In the lip sync episode and the finale, we saw a brand new runway set. What can you tell us about that set? What prompted the change?
We're always, as producers, trying to do different things. We've all, the show, basically the language of the show, the heart of the show, the challenges, the structure has not really changed since we were on logo TV 16 years ago. When I always make the joke, when we filmed the first season, George W. Bush was president. It aired during Obama, but we always try to trick it up and make twists and turns, pay homage to pop culture. And we wanted to keep the competition going strong. In the past, we would go, since like season 4, we've gone to like a big theater and done it that way. Instead, we stayed in our own studio and rebuilt it with screens and whatnot and brought the queens back to that. And it was just a way that we could sort of just control the environment, but, and just focus on the competition. So that's the choice. It turned out well, I think.
Yeah, and every year you keep fans guessing with new twists and turns. And for season 16, it was the Rate a Queen twist, which allowed the contestants to rank each other from first to last. Some of them did it honestly, some of them, plain Jane, did it strategically. That's how I would have done it. Talk to us about that idea of the Rate a Queen.
Well, we want to get to know the queens. Listen, I'll tell you, my personal thing is like, I would keep them all season, no eliminations, just like showcase them. But it is a competition elimination show. Someone has to go. The audience, as much as they complain about who gets eliminated, they love it when it happens. But in the first 2 episodes especially, we're getting to know the queens. We want to see them on the screen more. So we came up with this contraption so we could borrowed a little bit from The Circle with Love, again, sampling from pop culture. And it was just a way, I think it's immediately a way, because some people come in and they're nervous, or some people come in and they don't blossom until 2 or 3 episodes because it's a different environment. By putting them in the situation where they had to actually rate each other, so much was revealed. And we didn't tell them vote like the judges were critiqued or vote strategically. That was up to them. And I think in the instance of Plain Jane, it set her apart immediately from the rest of the queens and gave great insight to everyone and created a dynamic. Again, with sisterly love, but it's a game, it's fun, let's play.
And another twist this year was the immunity potion. And immunity used to be a part of the show, and for years and years it's been away. So why was now the right time to kind of bring back this immunity concept?
Well, we thought, because it used to be, it just sometimes seemed like it slowed down the competition, like by having we used to have every winner would be immune next week. And it's like, sometimes, it's fun, but it's not. So again, I think that was inspired by Death Becomes Her, the potion that they take. So then Rue would say, now a warning. But it was just an idea that we tried it out, and we did it for, there was 2 bottles. There's great, everything online now, not just politics, but Drag Race. There's all these conspiracy theories. And someone during the finale, because I'm on Twitter reading all the comments, they're like, the top 3 are the only people to either drink or touch the immunity potion. So that's why they were Illuminati and in the finale. But I can't say that was planned.
I love that. I didn't realize that till just now. Let's talk about the Rusical episode. This is always one of the biggest events of the year, not just for the fans, but from the production standpoint. What was it like bringing the sound of Rusic to the Drag Race stage?
So wonderful. We work with a handful of creative people, Leland being one of them, who's an incredible artist. And he also writes for Troye Sivan and all kinds of pop stars. And he is our music genius. John Polly and Michael Seligman, who are producers here, myself, we all put our heart and soul into the idea and the lyrics and whatnot. And then this year, Adam Shankman came and directed it, which was just choreographed it, which is just incredible. So it's fun. We try to mix it up every year. We kept it, it was very poppy, but people were like, again, my critics on Twitter, but it's just like The Sound of Music is such an old musical, and it's like, I'm a Golden Bachelor, so it's true. But we made it fun and very Ariana Grande-ish.
Well, final question for you is, I'm curious if you could say anything about the All-Stars 9 season coming on May 17th. And I know it's out there already that the queens are playing for charity this year, and there's no eliminations. Can you talk about that aspect?
Well, it was inspired by when we did a non-elimination All-Stars, which I think is different than the original, because there's huge fan bases. But when we did the all winners season 7, we had one episode where Terrence Meck from the Paulette Fund. It was a for charity episode. And, you know, we learn every season, every show, every hour, every challenge. And we're like, wouldn't that be amazing if we could have them be playing for, you know, treat them like the stars they are, pay them, give them a little wardrobe allowance, but have them play for their favorite charity. And so that's what we did. And of course, because we're drag queens, we made it Drag Queens Save the World, because you have to sort of, you know, hyperbole everything. But
Mhm.
it's a great season, great queens. I can't wait for everyone to see it.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch it. So thank you for chatting with us, and we'll see you in a little bit at the group panel.